Shaman, Warrior, and a Hunter too. It could be interesting if we start with Hunter versus Hunter once again.
Yeah, and there's no Miracle Rogue in there, which is kind of surprising to me, because especially, like, it started in week 2, but in week 3 we had more and more Miracle Rogues.
In week 2, we had more and more Miracle Rogues. Well, that's okay. That was the one match, Timo. So no surprises here. For the beginning, we have Lothar's match, and there's no problem. It's going to show you Lothar's hand until round 3, and round 3 on we have Freck's hand.
No problem.
So Lothar starting here with a full hand. We have turn 2, and there's a druid again, but it's not like looking like a ramp druid at the moment. It's more or less with harvest golems, Selnus. Well, we have Selnus in a ramp too, but now it kind of looks like a normal mid-rangey druid. He has even a Senjin Shieldmaster in, and I haven't seen those in ramp druids quite well. Never. So just saying never. They were more like the 5. So Druid of the Claw, Sunwalkers,
Yes.
Ancient of War, all those taunters, but not the early ones. But with Dhulogs upcoming earlier now again in the meta, they're actually going for Harvest Golems, Yetis, or Senjins to make their mid game more stable.
Yeah, you don't want to use earlier, and you can also bait a Black Knight with Sentient Shieldmaster. We saw it in the last Druid Mirror of day 1 that both Black Knights destroy the Sentient Shieldmaster.
That's true. And well, they regretted actually killing those Sentient Shieldmasters because one turn later, so it wasn't turn 4 when the Sentient came.
No.
It was turn 7. So Sentient Harvest Golem, new Black Knight Sentient, and then there's Ancient of War following up, and that hurt quite hard. This time, well, if the Shaman is even running the Black Knight, we might not know their versions with Black Knight as a Shaman, but often they don't run it.
No, of course, they still have the Earth Shocks and the Hex, so they're not dependent on it.
And there are a lot of cards you can, in a Shaman, where you can deal with what a Druid is throwing at you. And we see there's not only Senjin Shieldmasters for Lothar, there's also a Yeti. So he's really going for that mid-range now. And it's interesting to see because the mid-rangey version of a Ramp Druid is sometimes even harder because you get turn 4, turn 5, turn 6, and if you're playing ramp versus ramp, you already got your 4 minions out, while he might be putting down, well, an Ancient of War, but you can silent that one. Now we can show you Freck's hand too, so his recording went quite crazy. And now we got his hand too, and from now on we can show both sides. And as you see, his hand is pretty potent with a lightning bolt 2 times for his spirits, 1 time he played already, and then Hex already in his hand. So whatever Lothar is putting down, for example, that Druid of the Claw next turn, well, not next turn, but Yeti, Druid of the Claw, stuff like that, can just get hexed and, well, killed. Easy mode.
And he is clearing the board right now, which makes a lot of sense. And now, yeah, would you go for the Sentient Shieldmaster or rather the Yeti next turn?
Sentient Shieldmaster or Yeti next turn? Well, in this case, Senjin is okay, since there's nothing on the board you need to kill with 4 HP. And if there would be an Unbound Elemental on the board, I would absolutely go for Yeti. But now he can also go for Senjin. And it's turn 4. If there's a Black Knight, it will only come in 2 turns, and until then, you did something with your Senjin. So either it tanked damage, or you used it to attack a wolf. Then it can get Black Knighted, but you used it once. And that's better than not having used it at all.
And he is just clearing the wolf, which made a lot of sense, and used the Innervate just to establish board control.
And he has his Senjin out, killed the wolf. Well, most problem that a Druid has is many minions on the board. There is 1 Starfall sometimes in those Druids and swipes, but many minions with a lot of HP is the one annoying thing for a Druid.
Yeah, and those Starfields are getting more and more popular, especially in the ladder at like rank 5 upwards, legendary. You see them constantly.
It's good to have a Starfall in your deck. You can kill a Yeti, for example, Senjin. Even those Twilight Drakes in Control Warriors, you see more and more Twilight Drakes and stuff. So you already can kill those minions either with one Starfall. And if there's a Zulog upcoming, you're really happy if you can do 5 damage. Well, 5 damage to a Doomguard or 2 damage to everything on the board.
Yeah, and especially against Zulok, it kills most of the board.
Well,
Let's be
and
honest.
let's look at Frack's options here. He could go Lightning Bolt and kill a Senjin, for example, or he's just hexing, killing. Both were viable options. What he does, he prefers to hex here, since next turn he could go Azure Drake and do a 4 damage Lightning Bolt, or on turn 6 he could launch his Argent Commander, and those are 2 reasons to actually not Lightning Bolt and attack with both minions. You really want to keep your Divine Shield also.
Yeah, but Freck should be really happy that he forced one hex already. Because as we know in a Ram Druid, there are really big minions coming up. And it's gonna get harder for Freck to clear them.
So now there's swipe danger. That's a perfect swipe here for Lothar. If he just goes here Azure Drake swipe, he clears the board easy mode. And he could even drop down Selnus if he wants to. That's okay if he doesn't. Like, you want to play Selnus and Raz in the same turn.
Yes.
Since there's Earthshock danger always.
It's Earthshock danger, which would completely negate the Selnus, and he could have cleared the... Like, he was able to clear the healing totem regardless. So you want to keep the Selnus with rest to burst, for example, a Zudrake, which is one of the most likely plays next turn, in my opinion.
It could happen. You could. There's a Black Knight for Lothar, so next Spirit Wolves will just get... Well, there will one wolf will just pass away. He can also just draw those cards. It doesn't matter if he goes for the Wrath, he can keep it, since the only thing a shaman can do against such a minion is either hexing or, well, there's a hex for Freck upcoming. That's quite good for him. So he can either hex him now or attack him with his Defend of Argus, but that would hurt, or he's just dropping down Ragnaros, but that's risky. If it's just hitting the face, it's not gaining you anything.
Wow.
Yeah, geez.
You got lucky.
Extremely, since what can Lothar do now? So he can play Selnus, swipe, Raz now, but that hurts. Like, you wasted so much to just get rid of Ragnaros, and you really don't want to do that.
I think that's what he has to do. Like, he doesn't have a big game hunter yet, which he would love to play right now.
And you could also go for the card draw, maybe. If you play 2 big game hunters, I would risk going for the card draw.
Really?
Yeah, but only if you play 2. If you play 1, it's too risky. He could also just do what we said.
The chance would be, like, how many cards does he have left?
20 or so.
Nah, less.
I'd say 18. It's still too much of a too less chance to draw it, but it would still be more possible than with only 1 big game hunter in.
That's true.
And it looks really good for Freck here. Oh, I wanted to say it looks grim for him in the early game, but now it's looking better and better. He can just kill Selnus, get a totem, and even drop his Pharaoh Spirits if he wants here, so he gets a giant board out. And there's nothing... Well, there's the Black Knight roaming around, but if he plays the Black Knight, nothing else can be played from his hand. He could drop down a Ragnaros, but with a means on the board here for...
He could go Force of Nature Roar, but he decides against it. Of course, you want to keep it as a finisher. But in this situation, you could clear the board, and you know Freck only has 4 cards left.
And you need to look out for it. There's that on Freck's board. It's 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 damage. So with an Alakir, he cannot play an Alakir, so he's overloaded by 3. But with an Argent Commander Lightning Bolt, that's already 10, 11, that's 15. With an Azure Drake, that would be 19 damage in total. If he would just go for Ancient of the Lore, draw cards, double Yeti, for example. He was hovering over Yeti, so he was maybe thinking about double Yeti. He could also just play Ragnaros, hope for the hit. The safest play would be Force of Nature Roar, as you said.
That's ballsy.
Well, it's okay, so he can clear the board next turn. But we see a double Lightning Storm, and MiA.Freck will get a totem Lightning Storm once or Lightning Storm twice. Would have even been the safer play here, but he can just clear. So he got the weapon and he got an Earth Shock if he wants to, or the
Nice.
totem, and does 8 damage to the face.
Oh, he's down to 11. He has to go for the Roar combo.
Yeah, now there's no other way than Force of Nature Roar. It would be too risky to not. But as we know, there's already Argent Commander waiting, 2 damage in hand, so 6 damage next turn incoming, more or less. That's gotta hurt. And if Lothar decides to not Force of Nature Roar here, that would be so hard. But it feels wasty. So you use your 1-turn kill combo as a druid, where you want to kill your enemy mid with. And now you're sitting on stuff in your hand, and your enemy can just, well, throw more in your face.
Yeah, if... can he kill the Argent Commander?
Well, he can kill the Argent Commander, but it would hurt him a lot. So there's 4 damage on the board, 2 damage in his hand, and 3 damage in his hand also. So definite 5 damage next turn. He needs to kinda Ancient of Lore himself now. That would be the safe, like heal himself up, and maybe silence the 4/2, something like that. But he definitely needs to heal himself up. Yeah, silence or 2
Silence or
damage.
damage doesn't really matter. You only get rid of the Divine Shield.
But as we know, there's already that Hex, and, well, plus Flame Tongue Totem.
Nope.
That's 6, 8, 10,
11.
13 damage.
13?
He does 6
8,
plus
10,
2.
13. Yep, it's lethal. True.
Good top take for MiA.Freck here with the Flame Tongue Totem. That was a rather quick first game with a bit hobbly start here, only having MiA.Freck from turn 3 on. Hunter could work extremely good against Shaman, and I would advise him to go for it too. But with a perfect draw, it can look extremely good for MiA.Freck again. I mean, he's starting off with some good cards, and Lothar also.
Ooh.
There's Earth Shock and Lightning Bolt for MiA.Freck. Double Lightning Bolt. So if a Huffer is coming, just Lightning Bolt it. And as we see, Lothar is not playing the plain version like the Sunshine Hunter we saw so much at the DreamHack and after that and Ladder. No, it's a full face hunter again.
But nowadays we see more and more face hunters, just really the aggressive rush charge hunters, compared to the Sunshine. Sunshine really is not played that often anymore.
I don't want to say it's dead, but people tend to play full face hunter even more, in my opinion too. We see it with traps and everything. It works extremely good. Well, it was never dead. There were just so many anti-rush decks. And he gets a Leok. That's so unlucky. There's a spell damage totem plus a lightning bolt incoming. That's gonna burst Leok into pieces.
Yeah, really nice to get the totem that he needed. And we see Lothar is playing with an Arcane Golem version. So that's one minion you want to use as a finisher. So that's pretty much a dead card until then.
That's a dead card until, well, it's turn 7, turn 8 at least. Then it doesn't matter if your opponent has 1 more mana. Right now, annoying decision. He wants to play his bow, but if he plays his bow now, he only deals 1 more damage than he would with his passive. So that's kind of, well, it's not so good. He could just drop his trap, but if you drop your trap now, you just don't get that 1 charge on your weapon, and it's the only trap in your hand at the moment.
I think I would go for the 2 damage. Just steady shot.
Hunter is often really tricky to play if you consider when to do.
Yes.
So as we said, if you play your Eaglehorn bow now, you only deal 1 more damage, and you wasted 2 damage. You cannot do the rest of the game, since, well, you can only do 2 damage per turn with your steady shot, and if you don't use it once, you're already not screwed, but it hurts you.
Yeah, you want to make use of the steady shot as often as possible, that's true. And now he's mostly going to Eagle Horn Bow, steady shot, and attack, because he needs to rush Freck down before those taunts are incoming. We see Freck has a defender of Argos, so already 2 taunts.
And he's
Potential.
2 taunts potentially. As you say, he can just go ham on his 2 totems here. I'm surprised. Well, I wanted to say I'm surprised I haven't seen the explosive trap, but as we said, you need to use your steady shot every turn. The good thing for Lothar is now, with his explosive trap, he's at least getting rid of one of the totems, so that 2/2 totem would die. And with his Stone Tusk Boar, he could clear the next one. We could also see a tracking now into Timberwolf and maybe Buzzard Unleash.
Well, he couldn't play the Timberwolf anymore then.
Well, he couldn't play the Timberwolf anymore, that's correct. I was like, yeah, if you're tracking something, it's getting played. There's Leopard Gnome, Knife Juggler. Knife Juggler could be funny if he goes Knife Juggler Unleashed. I want to see it, Lothar. He has already one Buzzard in hand.
That's really, really luck dependent.
Well, if he drops his explosive trap now, then hits the steady shot, and next turn he's really going for Knife Juggler, Unleash, Stone Tusk Boar. There could be the potential to just clear enemy's board pretty easily.
True.
Argent Squire too. That's stupid. I'm just calling it. It hurts to get an Argent Squire here. You kind of don't want to play a 1/1 minion against a Shaman. Just give him one more Hound. Even if he needs 2 minions to kill that one, he can just ignore and go for your face. You're rather going for a minion like the Argent Commander to deal even more damage. Wow, that's gonna hurt. It's easy going to hit everything. So I'm predicting we're gonna see the defender of Argus die.
He just needs to kill the taunt.
He just not like taunt is dead. If the Argus dies too, and what like last ping now on the Argent Commander, well that would be ridiculous. And now he even gets 3 more cards. The amazing thing is he can attack that Argent Commander once if he wants to, and then attack with his weapon, or just go in that minion with everything, go for the phase 2, and brings him down to 13, and there are 2 Wolf Riders in his hand, Arcane Golem, even a Leopard Gnome. That's quite a
boar, kill command. That's a lot of damage next round.
Well, he can just drop double Wolf Riders if he wants to for 11 damage.
Well, that
would be 6, 9, 11 with steady shot. So if everything dies, he could go Arcane Golem, Wolf Rider, steady shot. That's 7, 9. That's only 12 damage. If he goes Stone Tusk Boar, kill command.
6.
That's 8. That's 11 too. Now that's 12. I'm just getting to 12 damage every time.
No, I got to 13.
You got to 13.
With Boar, kill command, 6 damage. And yeah, what did he have on the board? Buzzard. If that one didn't die,
it should be enough too. If Stone Tusk Boar kill command is 6 plus Arcane Golem is 10. So I forgot that the Stone Tusk Boar can attack. So that's 1 damage plus kill command is 6 damage plus Arcane Golem is 10 because 4 attack. And
and then with your weapon.
So Lothar has lethal here, but only 90 seconds to think about it. Thanks to Blizzard for making time limits on friendly matches. I still like it a lot.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree, and it makes it more competitive as well.
It makes casting even easier. So you're not sitting here casting a 1 bazillion hours match. It can still go quite long, and here's the kill command incoming Arcane Golem and everything we just said. And Lothar is going for the 1/1 here versus Freck. So MiA is not taking the first win easily. Planet Key follows up, and we will see a 3rd match since best of
warrior, because a control warrior doesn't have 3, 4, or 5 minions on the board like a shaman has. So the card draw potential is slower, and once you clear everything, yeah, you're gonna get the momentum and win the game.
I would say let's see what Freck sings, and we will just jump right into the game without any further ado. And it's Control Warrior, as you said. I would have gone for Hunter, like
really?
in a 1/1 matchup where you're, well, sometimes it gets lucky now, so just go for your own full face or Sunshine Hunter. Oh, if you have a full face hunter, pick your full face hunter and hope you rush faster. Well, if you have a Sunshine Hunter, then Warrior is the better pick.
You would go in a mirror match? Do you think the control warrior has such an advantage? I think actually the matchup is more in favor of the control warrior.
It's more in favor of the control warrior, but a full face hunter can just have that one lucky draw, and you're just, well, as we see, MiA.Freck is pretty amazing. He redrew the Taskmaster, he has a Fury War Axe, he has an Acolyte of Pain and a Whirlwind, so he can deal with that one drop. So we saw Leopard Gnome incoming, but he could just use his Taskmaster to get rid of it, but already without a Taskmaster it would hurt so much, he would take so much early damage. And there's now, for example, the Wolf Rider incoming. So Lothar Sand, super annoying. Wolf Rider, Knife Juggler, already Timberwolf plus Buzzard, Hunter's Mark for whatever. He has a pretty potent hand to win against the Control Warrior here, if he plays it right. But as we know, Freck's hand isn't bad at all.
Yeah, he has the Whirlwind, Acolyte. He can clear almost everything.
But that's the annoying thing now. So you cleared one HP minion, and there's the second one, and you kind of want to just trade sometimes your minion and save your Whirlwind. If now Unleash will be incoming, he could even Buzzard Unleash with a coin. Well, he even draws an Unleash, so that would be possible. It wouldn't be the smartest move. Like if this were pre-patch, he could have gone Buzzard, Unleash, plus Timberwolf. That would be good, since he could clear everything. Well, now he could just go for... He needs to wait one more turn to make it useful.
Yeah, with the Timberwolf. That's where we see the Hunter nerf coming into play.
Well, it makes it the early game a bit slower. For late game, it doesn't matter. If you're turn 7, turn 8, you can still do your combos as good as you could do them before. And now we might see... Well, he could also go for a Knife Juggler, Unleash again, see what happens. Still coin out Timberwolf.
Well, you don't want to go for that combo because you want to kill the Acolyte of Pain with one shot. You don't want to give the Control Warriors more options to draw clear. And you don't know what kind of Control Warrior it is. Could be one with a Wild Pyromancer as well.
One with Wild Pyromancer or with the Krikon Elite. So we have several versions of the Control Warrior. The newer versions... Or the more mid-rangey versions Katsi is playing. There are some versions still with White Pyromancers, so that one is possible too. I guess Buzzard, Timberwolf, Unleash could clear the board good here. Only annoying thing is there is a Fury War Axe, so your Buzzard will die definitely. And there's a Cruel Taskmaster on Freck's hand too, so Freck will be able to clear the board rather easily.
But still, you clear the board and get 3 cards. He decides against it.
Well, an Explosive Trap works wonders here too, if he would pick it. Since he can just drop it down to kill both of the minions. And he goes for a Leok once again.
Is he going...
Lothar is pretty unlucky when it comes down to this.
He could have coin steady shot it there.
He could have coin steady shot it, but I guess he wants to steal Buzzard, Knife Juggler, Unleash, like coin Unleash. As soon as, like next turn he could do it with 7 mana. Well, now he just loses his minion, his Leok. No, that's just super unlucky for him. He kinda wanted to get an Huffer to deal these extra damage. But Freck is rushing him down, I want to say. And there's an Earthen Ring Farseer for Freck.
Nice.
The one counter minion you always don't want to see as a
rush player.
Yeah, the rush player, it hurts so much. There's Earthen Ring incoming. You deal your damage, so your turn 3 play with a Wolf Rider pretty much gets negated just by, yeah, Earthen Ring. Heal up by 3 again. I killed your minion easily, now I just heal up.
Surprised he didn't went for the... Like, he didn't go for the combo last turn, and now his Knife Juggler will most likely just get killed.
Well, not only most likely,
it will get killed.
100% get killed, and even consider just shield slamming it. You can keep your weapon, you don't need to use it, or just buff up your Acolyte of Pain. Everything is possible here.
That's nice.
You draw even 2 more cards.
That's even better.
Or it would be okay to just heal yourself up, keep your Taskmaster for later plays. I would heal myself up, absolutely, to go on 30 HP back now with his armor. It looks extremely good. And, well, Lothar gets a bow now, but he has no traps. He has a lot of minions, but, well, it feels like it's useless what he's having here to play with. So he just killed armor, brings him down to 25, but we see in Freck's hand there's Ragnaros too, so he could deal 8, 10, 16 damage if he wants to now. That's quite a lot.
Like, I would go for Ragnaros no matter what. I would keep the weapon. Like, I wouldn't use the weapon now. Because if he plays another animal companion, gets a taunt, well, he even has Black Knight, so that doesn't matter. He can just kill.
Well, he didn't want to go for the Ragnaros. He wants to finish with it. And he didn't want to exceed that 2 minion limit, since there would be already 3 hounds, and 3 hounds are pretty annoying. Well, Lothar is dropping his Unleash, gets a Arcane Golem plus another Buzzard. He could go for a Timberwolf plus that, yeah, Abusive Sergeant to clear the board if he wants to. Or coin out a second Unleash, but that wouldn't be so useful in my opinion. Yeah, just go for the Abusive Sergeant and kill everything on the board to prevent yourself from dying. I mean, he's on 11. Next turn could already be Grimash Whirlwind, 10 damage. You would be down to 1. And no one wants to be down to 1.
No. Then you're close to dying.
But you're now a victim of Whirlwind. So this is going to hurt a lot. You got your 3 minions out. You kind of want to have out for next turn plays again. But there's just going to come the Whirlwind from Freck here. And even a Geddon. So he could just get an armor up if he wants to bring him down to 9. And then Ragnaros would even drop him to 1 HP. That looks just like super good for Freck here. And if Lothar wants to kill the Geddon, he needs to use one of his Hunter's Marks.
And the Arcane Golem.
And the Arcane Golem. Or Hunter's Mark Explosive Trap. But Freck can just end his turn if that Geddon survives. And
yeah,
he will
with
win.
Ragnaros and he would win.
Yeah, no, so even no need. And if he wants to kill Commanders, he needs to waste his Buzzard. And that hurts. Like, you don't want to waste your Buzzard now.
Ooh, draws a card.
Well,
yeah, he knows he's in trouble.
I would say it's like the one thing he can do here, and also just drop his Wolf Rider if he wants to. Or we talked about it.
Yeah.
It's turn 10 anyways, so now he got 10 mana. Congrats, bro. You would have got him in anyway. He dealt 4 damage more. But there's a Whirlwind.
Ragnaros Whirlwind.
Yeah, whatever.
Execute.
Ragnaros Whirlwind Execute. It would be the preferable play here. I agree here. You could also just go for Armorsmith Whirlwind Execute. Just go the safe road. Armorsmith Black Knight Whirlwind Execute. Win next turn. You saw both Unleashed. You can just drop your stuff on the board now. Don't need to fear anything. And you even get 2 armor from that play. Or Big Game Hunter. It really doesn't matter as long as you get more armor out of it. He wanted to shield them.
He wants to keep the Execute.
Well, keeping the Execute is okay, but you still need triggers for it, so it doesn't matter. If you don't use your Execute now, you wouldn't use your Shield Slam to use your Execute.
But he still has shield blocks.
Yeah, he still has shield blocks out, and well, how much damage does Lothar want to do? So he can just use his passive here. Drops, and now? Well, now sadly, Freck cannot win still. He needs to draw a weapon to actually win his game here. There's another Execute. So just pop that trap and play a Black Knight, or play Alexstrasza.
But he knows both Hunter's Marks are gone.
Yeah, that's
so now he can play Ragnaros without having any concerns.
It's correct. I mean, we're seeing Wolf Rider, Kill Command, Stone Tusk Boar, so that there could be a dead Ragnaros next turn, but it would hurt Lothar so much he would lose all his hand cards except 1. I guess Ragnaros is worth the risk.
He would still be at 1 HP.
Yeah, that's correct. It's absolutely worth the risk, since you're having Grimash, 1 card. You have another Fury War Axe, 2 cards. You have Gorehowl, so already 3 cards to end the game here. And Crocons, if you play
Yeah,
Crocons,
potential of Corcoran. Exactly.
that would be 5 cards to be drawn, win the game. Oh, Lothar just killed himself. No, that was a quite...
Screw this.
Screw this.
Freck's